Okay guys, I just wanted to take a look at Excalibur's new skill with you. I haven't played Warframe in a while. I came back, tested the build a bit with his new skill, and this is what I came up with. I'll run through the build itself in a bit, but for now let's go through a little bit of T3 Exterminate. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, his super jump was removed. So no more Berkeley frame, unfortunately. But his radial javelin was moved down to 3, and he got a new skill on his 4 called Exalted Blade. So when you activate this skill, it will replace your main weapon. And you'll see a couple of interesting effects. So first off, it shoots an energy beam every single time you do attack normally, including that's added onto the up close damage. And he has an auto parry when bullets shoot him, which is pretty nice. Of course, you're still prone to those kind of things. So, let me take some damage, build up my energy a bit, and we can look a little more closely at what it can do. Alright. So first things first, I want to regain my health, and because I have Vamp on, I pretty much get full health instantly. The base damage on it is pretty high, just because it's augmented by power. The crits on it are about 200% multiplier, crit rate's about 15%, and they are affected by your mods, so you will see pretty nice numbers as long as you mod well. I'll run through the mods at the end of the video. And it also pierces through walls. Let me see if I get this. Oh, let's find something else. See if I can one-shot this guy. Nice. So the beams, it won't come out if you attack into a wall, but as long as you don't attack into a wall and your animation for your slash finishes, the beam will come out and it will pierce through walls. It pierces through multiple enemies as well. So if you use only the first hit in your combo, you always get an AoE cleave. And if you crit enough with Berserker, which I would say should, you get some pretty nice attack speed with it. You cleave through rooms, keep your health high with regen. Overall, it's just a pretty fun build. There you go, found him. And I believe there's a couple of combos I'm going to show you guys in a sec. There's this melee combos. It has its own stance mod. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. What about EE? Hold E. It's, I think, gimmicky at best. I think the best one is probably just spamming E. But I guess that goes for a lot of melee weapons. Also, if you crouch down, you won't. If you crouch down, you won't move when you attack. Oh, that's a nice 80k crit there. You won't move when you attack, and yeah, you could act like a little defense turret if you want. There is a upper range on the targets. I mean, the upper range on the beam, but I am not sure if there's upper range on how many targets you can hit. Oh, and I guess I'll go with cherry on top. If you slide attack, it's radial blind. so you can spam the hell out of it if you want to. Again, I tank my duration for efficiency because I'm using it more as like a damage weapon. But you can spam the hell out of Radial Blind with like max duration if you want. So right, this skill with Excal's new sword, it scales with power strength, which increases the base of it, which will further increase the mods that augment it. It scales with, I believe the duration scales it with the Radial Blind, and the efficiency scales the rate at which the energy drops. I'm running a typical melee build with Life Strike and Rage. And it usually works out. I use it on my Volt too. It's nice consistent damage, AoE cleaves, and there's no reloading, there's no loss of DPS from like stalling. The only thing is that you have to make sure you upkeep your energy. Ouch. Is there another bombard over here? I think I saw like a second set of missiles. Oh, just this. Goodbye. And a small quality of life change. His slash dash travels, I'd say, about 30 degrees higher. I mean, you can angle it like 30 degrees up or down. So you get a small little boost upwards if you need it. So I'll finish this up. And, ouch. But with one hit with Vamp Strike, because it's Vamp Strike, you don't need to max it, it's way overkill. I have it at 1 upgrade, and it takes 30%, no, I'm sorry, it takes 10% Life Strike. So, you know, that's more than enough, 10% if you're dealing this much damage. And there's a couple of other, like, there's small changes you can make to, like, use it with channeling. But from what I've heard or what's been tested so far, it does not scale with channeling damage. I could be wrong, but at the moment I don't see a need for channeling with a weapon unless, like, you want to go into really high rounds, you may see the need for it. But I think this works well enough for the moment. The damage is split evenly between slash, impact, and puncture too. So you get even damage across the board, which is pretty nice. I've only used my Excalibur to farm back before Mesa took over the, I think, Draco and Stefano farming. So he's not too pimped out on mods and such, but let's take a look. Okay, I don't run any shields. I run Vitality to help synergize with Rage, and then Rage to help synergize with Life Strike to get like a little constant God mode going, as long as you can keep doing damage. And upkeep your energy, but again, energy is not a problem if you're getting hit, and as long as you don't get hit too much, you don't get bursted down. Which is why I like to throw quick thinking on here sometimes, right? But it's expensive and I haven't like formed my Excalibur at all. Okay, power strength. I don't care too much about duration because I don't deal with the radial blind. I use it as a damage attack. So power strength is needed to sort of boost up the base damage. Fleeting expertise for efficiency, flow to help out with energy management, and streamline. And I have quick rest here because there's not much else I can use, I guess. I mean, I could use handspring because the only way I could reasonably die is getting knocked down or getting bursted heavily. So quick spring, quick thinking can go there. Honestly, if it shouldn't be too bad, I could always drop a streamline too. It's only 30. It's only 30%, which brings it back to the original 100% efficiency. Alright, and for the melee mods that do scale with his 4, Pressure Point, Jagged Edge, and Spoiled Strike all multiply the base. I don't know if power... I don't think it matters, but I think base damage may scale better in general because the power strength scales the base damage. I don't know if it's like multiplicative on top of the melee damage multipliers, but we'll leave the number crunching to some other time. So we have Fury and Berserker to really up your speed, which both makes it fun, and it helps you get more crits out for Berserker. Fever Strike and Focus Energy for the channeling efficiency. You could easily replace Focus Energy with Molten Impact, but the only issue here is that with Molten Impact and Fever Strike, if you're reduced to having to use your melee weapon when you're out of energy, you have gas, which kind of sucks. Because your slash is already so high. You don't need to stack both slash and gas because slash already deals with the infested. You don't need gas to like make it better. So you drop 30% effective damage from fire to electricity, and you get corrosive to deal with the armored targets. For Life Strike, the channeling efficiency is 30%, which is kind of, 10%, which is pretty good on the damage you're dealing already. Let's see with unranked Life Strike, the energy channeling goes down to 5, which is pretty nice. And 5% lifesteal does more than enough. So it depends how much you want to channel with it. It's not too bad. And one last comment is on the longswords for Excalibur. For the longswords on Excalibur, he gets an extra 10% attack damage and I think attack speed because of some kind of new hidden passive. And this in turn also carries over to his 4 skill. And yeah, that about does it. If you have a longsword and it's upgraded, 4 mode, whatever, then you could definitely use it. It's something useful. Otherwise, that's about it for his skills. I think there's... I'm not sure if they have purity, but... No, this is justice. Excuse my noobishness for a second. I think it's on Perrin. That's sequence. Which one's purity? You can use Radio Blind with like a 300% finisher and use like a finisher kind of build, but I think that's a bit too slow for general use. Alright, their truth. Am I going to really go through all this? Okay, purity. This skill right here, Bright Purity. 100% melee damage, and it's also on a Scanna. So with 100% melee damage, plus the Scanna, plus the passive on the longsword, if you can get a Scanna and just throw on Bright Purity for it, you're going to get serious damage on your 4 skill. So that about does it. You can also get the augment for Excalibur's Javelin, which increases damage on his Radial Javelin. Increases his melee damage 5% for each enemy hit with Radial Javelin. But otherwise, it's not too impressive. It's only 12 seconds, but that's up to you, I guess. Anyways, thanks for watching, and yeah, if you have any comments on the build or you find anything that you might want to like add on to the build, just let me know.